Hi everyone, it's Rachel from Sweet and Simple Home and welcome to my Christmas 2018 home tour. I'm so excited to welcome you guys into my home, let you walk around. I love making my home beautiful little by little, especially at the holidays. If that's something you are passionate about as well, I hope you will hit that red subscribe button and stick around for more inspiration. I'm calling my Christmas decor style Rustic Nostalgic Christmas. I have a lot of rustic sort of natural touches with a ton of vintage Christmas items because that's just my favorite. To me, I love the nostalgia of Christmas, and you'll see that throughout my decor. Starting in this cozy corner of my living room, I have this adorable Santa painting that my sister Lizzie got for me for Christmas a few years back. Underneath it in this basket, I've placed loads of little Christmas greens and pine cones and a pick. On the couch, I have this red throw and our regular pillows. I feel like these work really well with my Christmas decor. On the window ledge, I actually placed these two candles from the Dollar Tree. They're solar powered and I tried them out to see if they worked. You guys, they actually work. So you don't have to worry about turning them off or on, and their flicker is really adorable. Next to the couch, I have a big bin full of Christmas books. I'm going to share a video with you about a lot of these books, so stay tuned for that. The highlight of the living room, of course, is our gorgeous Christmas tree. This tree itself is quite old. It's pre-lit, but none of the pre-lit lights actually work, so we add lights to it, which isn't ideal, but we're going with it. At the top, I have this oversized Christmas ornament that I've turned into a topper, and I love it. I have lots of black and white. I love snowflakes on my trees. I love mixing in those meaningful childhood ornaments from my childhood, my kids' childhood, my husband's childhood, and then those ornaments that we've picked up to mark wonderful occasions in our lives, whether that was our first house or a trip to Disneyland. I just love the nostalgia and the memories when you pull out an ornament and it brings back those glorious memories. You'll also recognize I have a lot of DIY ornaments and things that we've picked up secondhand that are vintage. I love them. And these large scale snowflake ornaments from the Dollar Tree are just stunning. I have 3 of them and it really draws the eye around the tree. In the entry, all I have is this really sweet wooden wreath that I picked up from Target for my birthday last year. It looks so pretty here on this aqua mirror. In our dining space, I again have kept it incredibly simple. I have this flocked garland I picked up at Walmart last year, though they still have it this year. And in this large wooden box that my dad built for me, I filled it with these greens that I was sent from Harbor Farm, along with pine cones and some little red berries that I had on hand. Here on my chalkboard, I wrote "Rejoice Greatly," and the reason for that is because that's from one of my favorite songs from The Messiah by Handel. For the wreath on my chalkboard, I went ahead and tried something different. I took a garland I got at a yard sale and kind of turned it into a wreath because I wanted something with color over here, and I think it works. To the side of our closet, I have my clipboards, and I switch these out every season, and I have this snowman and this Santa. I love this vintage Santa. He is, to me, the epitome of vintage Santa. So here in the hallway, I have this gorgeous picture of my kids and this shelf that my dad built me when I was a child. And I hung this up last year for stockings and ended up leaving out the shelf year round because it's actually really nice to have this space here. But I put this banner that I made, and I'll link to a video where I explained how I made that. And the stockings were actually made by my younger sister, Lizzie. Here in my kitchen, I have this gorgeous shelf that I love decking out for the holidays every year. Oh my gosh, this is probably my favorite that I've ever done it. Up top, I have an old window screen and a box and some candles, but the best part about the top shelf is on my globe, I have this vintage plastic Santa cake topper that my friend SNSHOME found and sent to me. She knew I was looking for one, and this is why I wanted one. The next shelf down has this really festive red box with this truck, the same truck that my dad has. Then I have my little forest of all different sorts of trees I've picked up. That wooden one is new this year. I got it at a local vintage and craft market that I went to. This little guy in front I made, and I'll link to a video showing you how I made him. And then all of these books, The Miracle of the Bells and No Trumpet Before Him, I picked up this summer, and they have the most gorgeous Christmas graphics inside. The next shelf down has probably one of my favorite things ever, and that's this large milk glass footed bowl filled with all my favorite vintage ornaments and shiny brights. Next to it, I have this milk glass cake plate that has sort of this snowflake design, and I placed this little church ornament from the Dollar Tree on top of it. Next to it, I have this wonderful twig reindeer that I picked up secondhand for the very, very first Goodwill challenge. And here is one of my favorite spots. I've turned this old crate into sort of a display case for some of my little vintage finds that I just adore, like this mercury glass beaded star ornament, and this little angel girl holding a candle. She reminds me of Molly. I love this Scotch tape container and the little vintage holly in the little vintage glass jar. It's just so cute. Down here I have my Fire King bowls filled with pine cones, another milk glass cake plate with this really cool wooden plate that I found at a yard sale this summer, and some ornaments and a little pick. I made this little sculpture out of another vintage tin. It's supposed to look like the little penguins are ice skating. In this wooden box, I've displayed some of my favorite vintage books and little cards and another pick. To the right of the shelf unit, I have hung this Christmas wreath over all of my vintage aprons and linens. And I have this one that came from Home Goods. It says Merry Christmas. And this little elf pot holder came from my sister Lizzie. And that Christmas apron I found at a yard sale for just 50 cents. To the left of the shelf, I've just clipped up this little Joy to the World card, and I'm sure this will fill up more as cards come in. And then toward the bottom, I have this vintage advent calendar that my friend SNSHOME sent to me. It is an absolute treasure. I'm going to link to SNSHOME's channel as well as my sister Lizzie's channel because I'm going to be mentioning them a lot here during this tour. For my coffee station this year, this is how we have it set up for our daily use. I'll link to a video where I set it up for hosting, and there's lots of ideas there. It's one of my more popular videos from last year. But this year I have this gorgeous ceramic vintage tree that I picked up for $5 at a yard sale. It is the highlight of the coffee station. I have a milk glass goblet filled with my favorite tea and a little vintage pick, a ginger snap tin filled with more tea, as well as our coffee. Around my kitchen sink is one of my favorite spots at Christmas because I have lots of my favorite milk glass pieces, and honestly, just throwing a little bit of red into the milk glass makes it look so stunning at the holidays, like some little red ornaments, some candy canes, some berry picks, and pine cones. It just looks so festive. One of my favorite little moments is right here. I have this dish full of pine cones and a couple bottle bush trees, but next to it is this sculpture that Molly made, and she wanted to make it look like the bird was in a nest, and I think it's so beautiful. It's probably one of my favorites that we've ever made. Also in the kitchen is one of our family favorites. This is our advent calendar. I've had it since Molly was a baby, and we use it every year. Here's my baking station. I'll be spending a lot of time here this holiday season, and I just have my chalkboard the same as it was in the fall because I really liked that little wreath that I made. I'll link to that if you're interested. And then I have this faux tree from Target a few years back, and this adorable vintage rocking horse that I picked up at a yard sale. My front door is graced with this beautiful wreath from Harbor Farm, and I'll link to a video where I shared more about that. And my back door has this little basket that I painted white a while back, and I again filled it with greens from Harbor Farm and a couple pine cones. In the bathroom, I have these insulators that I collect, and I love the way these red berry picks sort of play off the blue. It's really festive. My bedroom was sort of a new place for me to decorate this year. I hung my faux wreath above my bed and switched out from that yellow one I had before. The base of my bed, I have a blanket scarf, and normally I have it on the blue side, but I flipped it over to the red side, and it's so cozy and comfy and warm. On my nightstand, I got this ceramic tree for my birthday. It's from Target, and then I just have another little pick. In the windows, I have some more candles from the Dollar Tree. These are the battery-powered ones. They are a little bit bigger, but you do have to turn them on and off. On top of my dresser, I showed this to you guys in a video, but I have this frame that I've turned into a bit of a card display. I've stacked these vintage ornament containers. I love the graphics on these, and I just think they're so adorable. On this map tin, I hung this tiny little banner I made with washi tape that says "Joy to the World." And then in front, I have a bottle brush tree from Walmart. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. I truly hope you have a blessed and beautiful Christmas season. Thank you so much for being a part of my channel here at the Sweet and Simple Home. You guys take care. Merry Christmas, and I'll be back with more soon. Bye!